Welcome. Tonight, you are invited into a quiet story from ancient legends and distant worlds. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember. Just allow the story to guide you gently into rest. Let your breathing slow. Let the night settle around you. And now, the story begins.
As night slowly settles over an old Anatolian village, the wind moves gently along the dirt paths, quiet and unhurried. The moon appears faintly behind drifting clouds, casting a pale light over small wooden houses. Oil lamps flicker softly in the windows. Nights in this village are usually calm, yet everyone knows that sometimes silence is only a form of waiting. This is a story that has been whispered for centuries. When its name is spoken, voices grow quiet, doors are locked more carefully, and the breathing of newborn babies is listened to closely. Her name is Alkarisi. According to legend, Alkarisi appears during the deepest hours of the night, long after midnight has passed. The village is asleep. Only the sound of the wind, distant dogs, and the soft creaking of wooden homes remains. It is in this stillness that she moves. Alkarisi has long, dark, tangled hair. She often wears an old dress tinted deep red. Sometimes her face resembles an elderly woman, sometimes a young mother. But her eyes are always the same: deep, cold, and endlessly awake. She is drawn to homes where women have recently given birth, mothers resting after labor, fragile newborns, and the quiet vulnerability of night. For this reason, villagers follow old traditions. They place iron near doorways, hide needles beneath pillows, and tie red ribbons near a baby's cradle. It is said that Alkarisi fears iron, and that red distracts her gaze, drawing her attention away. Still, sometimes she comes. The night of this story is one of those nights. In a small house at the edge of the village, a young woman lies half asleep beside her newborn child. The room is warm. The hearth has long gone dark, leaving only fading embers. Her breathing is slow and uneven. The baby sleeps quietly against her chest. As the night deepens, the air inside the house grows heavy. Time seems to slow. The wind outside suddenly stops, and then a faint sound is felt near the door. Not footsteps, not breathing, just the presence of something waiting. Alkarisi stands at the threshold. Before entering, she listens. She senses who is awake, who is asleep, who is aware. If someone is awake, she retreats. But when all is deep in sleep, the door does not creak. The wood makes no sound. She slips inside like a shadow, as if formed from the night itself. The young woman dreams of pressure on her chest, something heavy holding her down. Her breath tightens. She wants to wake but cannot move. In the village, this state is called a nightmare. Yet the elders know that not all nightmares belong only to dreams. Alkarisi stands silently beside the bed. Her hair drapes toward the floor. Her eyes are fixed on the child. The air grows colder. The lamp flickers. Shadows stretch along the walls. Then, the baby stirs. A soft breath, a tiny sound, and Alkarisi pauses. Some say she fears the cry of a child because sound is a sign of awareness, because a crying baby is never truly alone. Slowly, she steps back. As silently as she arrived, she retreats into the darkness. At the doorway, she lingers for a moment, then dissolves into the night. When morning comes, the young woman wakes. The weight on her chest is gone. The baby still rests beside her. Yet a lingering feeling remains, the sense that someone had been watching her through the night. An elderly woman later looks at her and quietly says, "You forgot the iron." Nothing more needs to be explained, and the nights continue to pass in silence, because Alkarisi does not come every night, but when she feels forgotten, she reminds. The wind begins to move again. The moon slips behind clouds. The village sleeps. The story drifts gently through the night, and slowly it returns to the beginning.
As the night deepens, stories do not end. They only change their shape. In the village, elders say that Alkarisi is older than names, older than memory itself. Long before houses were built, before villages formed, she already walked the land. She belongs to the space between waking and sleep, between breath and silence. Some believe she was once human, a woman who lost her child in the cold of the night. Others say she was never human at all, but a spirit born from fear, loneliness, and unguarded dreams. No one truly knows. What is known is this: she does not rush, she does not chase, she waits. Alkarisi moves slowly through the hours when the world feels unreal, when thoughts blur, when dreams begin to drift closer to waking life. She listens not with ears, but with presence. She senses weakness, exhaustion, and forgotten rituals. In old times, women stayed awake with new mothers through the night. Lamps were kept burning until dawn, not only for warmth, but for awareness, because awareness is protection. When lamps go dark, when fatigue wins, when silence grows too comfortable, that is when she draws near. Inside the house, time stretches, sounds soften, even breathing feels distant. Alkarisi stands where shadows gather, corners of rooms, doorways, the space between walls and light. She does not touch at first. She watches. The weight that comes in sleep is not sudden. It settles gently, like a heavy blanket, like deep water. The body feels held down, yet calm. The mind drifts, unable to call for help. This is how she moves. Quietly, patiently, without force. Elders say iron disrupts her presence, not because it hurts her, but because it anchors reality. Iron belongs to the waking world, and Alkarisi does not. That is why a needle beneath a pillow matters, why a knife near a cradle matters, why even a small piece of metal can change the night. Red too carries meaning. Red is life, blood, warmth, memory. When red is placed near a child, it confuses her gaze. She lingers, distracted, uncertain, and hesitation is enough. Some nights, she leaves without entering. Some nights, she only stands at the door, and some nights, she stays longer. Yet even then, she rarely causes harm. Her presence is more like a reminder than a punishment, a reminder that sleep is powerful, that vulnerability deserves care. Those who survive an encounter often describe the same feeling in the morning, not fear, but heaviness, as if a long dream never fully ended, as if part of the night followed them into daylight. They feel watched, even in sunlight. They move slowly, they speak less, and over time the feeling fades, because Alkarisi does not linger once remembered. She returns only when forgotten again. As the wind passes through empty paths, as roofs creak softly under the night sky, her story continues, not loudly, not clearly, but gently, like breath. She walks where sleep is deepest. She waits where vigilance fades. She exists where stories are half remembered. And as you listen, as your own breathing slows, the line between story and dream grows thinner. The night stretches, the village rests, and somewhere between shadow and silence, Alkarisi remains, waiting. The wind moves again, the darkness softens, the story circles back, and begins once more. The night no longer feels like a single moment. It stretches gently, without edges. Time slows, then softens, then begins to drift. In the village, nothing moves quickly anymore. Even the wind seems to breathe slowly, as if it does not wish to wake anyone. Roofs rest under the weight of darkness. Trees stand still. Paths lie empty. Alkarisi does not walk now. She simply exists. She is no longer at the door, no longer in the corner of the room. She becomes part of the night itself, a presence woven into silence, into air, into the space between thoughts. She does not watch with eyes. She senses. Breathing slows. Dreams deepen. Awareness fades. In these hours, stories lose their sharp edges. Words become softer. Meanings blur. What remains is rhythm, the steady rise and fall of breath, the gentle passing of time. This is where Alkarisi belongs. She is not fear here. She is not danger. She is a reminder of how fragile sleep can be and how deeply it can carry you. Villagers say that when sleep is respected, she grows quiet. When rituals are remembered, when care is taken, she fades into the background of the world. She becomes no more than a thought, a whisper, a name half forgotten. The night holds everything gently now. Houses, roads, memories. Even old legends rest for a while. The moon drifts behind thin clouds. Its light dims, then returns, then dims again. This rhythm repeats, like breathing, like waves, like sleep itself. Alkarisi moves with this rhythm, not forward, not backward, only around. She circles the edges of dreams, never entering fully, never leaving completely. She belongs to the moment just before waking and just after sleep begins. If you were to listen closely, you would hear nothing unusual. No footsteps, no whispers, only calm. And that is how it should be. Because true rest comes when stories no longer demand attention, when they simply exist, softly, in the background. The village sleeps, the night continues, breath follows breath, and somewhere within this stillness, the story gently turns back toward its beginning. The wind slows, the darkness deepens, silence becomes complete, and once again, night settles over an old village, quietly, patiently, just as it always has. And so, this story gently comes to an end. The words slowly fade into the quiet of the night. For the next few minutes, there will be only soft ambience, gentle sounds to help you relax and drift deeper into rest. When this video quietly finishes, the night will continue with another calm story, flowing naturally without interruption. There's nothing you need to do. Just stay comfortable, stay relaxed, and let the sounds carry you forward.